evening. I hope this camera quality is okay. My phone's being funny, so I'm using something else, and I don't know what it'll be like, but hey ho. Hope you've all had a lovely week. Hope you've all had a really nice weekend, really nice Sunday. I uploaded something on Instagram that had mentioned that I had a bit of a tough weekend. My eating disorder tends to set goals for me, really stringent, strict, unrealistic goals for me when it comes to earning my weekends. And if I don't adhere to them, i.e. if I nourish myself like any normal person, he comes down pretty hard on me. So Saturday was a bit of a drone all morning. Friday night, Saturday was sort of like, do you know when you're in a room full of like loads and loads and loads, hundreds of people, and there's like this overwhelming drony sound of conversation, and you don't pick up on everything, but when someone comes quite close to you, then you pick up on something that they might say. That's sort of like the way my head was on Saturday morning. And I had to really battle it for the good of my family and myself in order to go out, because many a time I really, really would have just not. Willow's really good for me that way. But today, Sunday, I went to church. It was really, really lovely. And then we went up to a waterfall just about 8 miles away from here, which was again really, really lovely. On the way home again in the car, I started getting because I wasn't driving and I was looking, and I was just. And days like that, weekends like that, I think, and I'm sure many others think, why on earth did she ever sign up to this life? Short answer, I didn't. This is not what I signed up for. If I could use the analogy, imagine you are in a really, really dark, scary forest, and you've been left vulnerable for some reason. Something really bad has happened. You're really scared, you're frightened, you're confused, you're vulnerable. You've tried a few of the different paths and they haven't taken you anywhere. You're still lost. Some of them, if you had continued on through the potholes and the scariness, you may have got out the other side, and it may have led you to safety. But a lot of the times you ended up back here, and everything just looked the same and overwhelming, and you were getting more and more frightened and feeling less and less in control of the situation. And all of a sudden you see this building, and it looks so inviting and bright and friendly and safe and contrary to everything that's around you. And it says on it sanctuary or help available or whatever. And the closer you get, the more inviting it becomes, and you can feel the warmth from the building. And when you arrive, it's really like intriguing. And you stop for a wee minute and you're like, But then somebody comes and says, come in, welcome. And they take off your horrible shoes and they give you comfy slippers and they wrap a blanket around you and they bring you into this lovely room that just exudes safetiness and warmth and comfort. And they sit you down beside a really warm fire and give you a hot cup of something, and they say, what do you have to do for this? And they say, nothing, just take it. I'm just here to help you. Enjoy it. Take as long as you need. Relax. So you stay there for a good while, and then somebody comes in and says, right, it's time to leave here. We need to go out into another room. So we're like, oh, right, okay. So we leave that room and they lock the door, and you don't quite see what they do with the key, and you think, right, okay. And you walk on down this corridor and it doesn't seem just as safe, but it's still okay. And you go into this room and it's not quite as nice as the first one, but it's still nice and it's still good and it's still serving its purpose and it's still giving you warmth and heat and nourishment. But they ask you for something and you go, well, that seems like a fair enough deal. That's okay. I'll go with that. So you go along with it and they give you stuff in return. And you think, no, this is still okay. I can still deal with this. This is better than the dark, cold, wet forest that I was in. I didn't know where I was going. Then you start to think, but I don't actually know where I am. But it seems okay. And I'll get out soon. And then eventually they come along again. They say, right, we have time to leave this room. We have to go to the next one. And you're like, oh, all right. And they lock the door again. You don't quite see what they do with the key. It looks like they're, hiding it somewhere. Or they take you down and they're still being nice to you, but they are saying to you, now, we have done this for you. So, we would like something in return. And you think to yourself, I suppose that's fair enough. I can't take. So in the next room, it's just pretty basic. It's not anything wonderful, but it's still, again, there's still provision there for you. Again, you're still safe from the dark, cold forest, but they're asking quite a lot of you now. But you're now in a position where you feel like you're indebted to them, and you have to, and you don't know how to get out for a start. So you're always thinking about, right, I wonder how I could work out how to get that key or to get back up that corridor. I didn't really see. It was quite a windy road. We turned a few corners in the corridor. I'm not quite sure how to get back there. I must work that out. But as you're trying to work it out, and no sooner are you trying to work it out than they're asking you to do stuff, and they're distracting you. They're saying, no, come and do this for me. You're trying to do that, so you don't have time to work on how to get out of the situation. But they take you and they have you in this horrible dungeon, and it's darker and it's colder and it's scarier and it's less safe and less comforting than the forest was. And all of a sudden it would seem like you would like to be back in that forest trying to get out of it a different way, but they're taken from you continually and they're draining you, and you're sort of like a slave for them now, and you don't have the energy, the time, the wherewithal, the reserve, anything to try and work out how to get out of this place. And you think, this isn't what they told me it was. This isn't the place I walked into. This isn't the sanctuary that I was promised. And now I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to get out. I'm stuck. I'm lost. It's dark. It's scary. And there's someone here that keeps keeping me here and telling me that if I go out there that I'll get attacked by wolves, or I'll end up in the same situation, the sorry situation I found myself in. Sharon, if you were so happy before you came in here, why did you come here to begin with? And that's sort of what it's like when you sign up to this. You didn't sign up to this dungeon at all. But they didn't tell you that with each room you were going to go to, that they were going to ask more of you, give you less, and not tell you how to get back. But there's a way back. You can work out how to get those keys. Those keys weren't binned. Those keys were just hidden somewhere. And we can find it. Or do you know what? We could just get on our shoes one day, pluck up loads of courage and just woof, dart up there right out that door, smash right out through it. We'll end up in the forest again maybe. It won't be easy. It'll still be dark and cold and we'll still be lost. But there's those other paths, and maybe try taking one of those. Night everyone.